What do you do when you're working on a journal and you just can't get motivated to work on it because you don't like the way that it is turning out? That is the question. The answer is you punt. So I had started this little journal where I took the muslin and put the cardstock on the muslin and put it in this little vintage typewriting book cover. And I just kept on pushing it to the side and working on something else, and I just was not happy with it. And so this morning, I took it all apart and I put a new signature in. I took out the papers that were mounted on the muslin because I felt like they were too stiff for a journal, and I was getting a lot of waviness and it just didn't feel good. And so rather than continuing to work on something that I just wasn't happy with, I decided to take it apart and put it back together. And so that's what I've done. And so now it has vintage book pages and ledger pages, coffee dyed, stenographer's books, things that are more tied into the cover, which is the typewriting manual. I did put my typewriter on the front. I feel like that there's enough of the title showing that you can see that it is a typewriter book, or a typing book. So I left that, and I'm much happier with it. And so I'm going to work in this a little bit today, and I hope you will join me. By the way, the things that were in this album, or in this journal, which are the ID, the journalist tags and all that, they're going to now go to this journal, which I also made today. And it has like a leather cover, and it's actually like a commercial law book. But I felt like this would be more like a journalist type journal because it does have the leather cover. And so I've also created a signature in this one that I will be using those things in. And you'll notice that in this one, most of the pages are just blank pages right now. It's coffee dyed and tea dyed, newsprint. There's some dictionary in here because I figured, a journalist probably would use a dictionary. And there's a shorthand page in here. So there's not a lot of pages in this one at the moment that have writing on them. Most of them are just blank. So, but this is what I'm going to build on for this journal. I left the inside covers how they were because I like the patina on them and the age of it. So, that's that. So what I'm going to do today, like I said, is work in this little journal and kind of put some things back together. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put this envelope in here as a flip. So this is an advertisement talking about telephones and telegraphs, but I don't particularly like this side because it's talking about some kind of contest or something, and I don't feel like that fits into the context of the journal. So I'm going to take this envelope And I'm going to mount it so that it's a flip out. And then I'm going to cover it with this, the flat part, like that, so that, you know, you can't see that contest part. And this is actually one of the original pages out of the typewriting book, and then some scrapbook paper that I salvaged from where I tore the other journal apart. So I'm going to glue that down, and that's going to cover my flap, if that makes sense. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is glue this down, and I'm going to use glue stick. So yeah, I guess if you want a tutorial for today, it would be, you know, if you don't like what you're doing, don't continue with it, because it's not going to make you happy, and we do this to make ourselves happy. So you can always punt, which is exactly what I did today. So I want this to be on the edge. Let's see if I can get it, if I can manage to get it lined up. Goodness gracious. Okay, so there's that. Alright, so now let's glue this here. So I hope everybody is doing good today. It's a nice relaxing Sunday afternoon here. Husband's watching football, of course. It's a lot nicer today here than it was yesterday. Yesterday it rained about all day. It wasn't really cold. It was just damp and miserable. Peel that little hang off. Now you'll notice my envelope is open, and that's because I had to trim just a little bit off each edge in order for it to be the right height. It was just a little bit too high. So now I need to decide, do I want it to be open up here for a pocket, or do I want something to slide in here? And I'm thinking it's going to be easier if it's open up at the top. So we need to find something to cover this area. And I'm thinking that maybe just some plain, maybe this. So we have another writing area. I'm going to cut this rough edge off just for a second so I can see what's going on here. So put this in here. Actually, I'm going to put this end in here because I know it's straight, and I'm not sure what I just cut is so straight. Do I want that gray showing? Oh, it won't show. Duh. It won't show because I am about to glue all that shut or cover it up. So I'm gonna make my cut about right there. I think, and then about right here. Okay, so let's do that. I'm sure you've seen this done a million times. I definitely am not the creator of this. Okay, now I'm going to glue across the bottom here and seal my pocket up. Okay, and then I'm going to put glue here, here, and here. Here. And then I'm going to put my paper on there. Preferably straight. Oops. Got it dirty. Okay, and then I'm going to just refold this, and I probably should wait till it's dry, but so we can move on with the video. I won't worry about it. And I'll fix it later if I have to. Alright, so now we should have a pocket here. And I should have poked my little hole in there. A circle. You know what I mean. Notch. Don't have it down far enough. I don't want a big one. There. I just want enough to indicate there's a pocket. Alright, now we're going to ink. And I'm going to use, I think I'm going to use frayed burlap. Ooh, that's really wet. Tell I don't use that one much. Go ahead and do this side too while we're at it. Just very lightly. See, that's like almost too much right there, but it'll work. Okay. So then we have a good writing spot right here. Now we're going to flip it over and we're going to put my original pocket from the other journal here. Not the other journal, but the other pages. So I'm going to glue around the edges. And I'm not going to worry about putting a gusset in this pocket because it's going to have a little single tag in there. So it's not going to be anything that's too bulky. So we're just going to glue it right on there. Okay, now we're going to build a little tag, and I'm going to use this cardstock. It's just a little scrap piece I had. Needs to be just a tad shorter. I think you can write on the back. It is, like I said, two-sided paper, but it's pretty light on the back, so I'm not going to worry about backing it. I am going to snip the corners. Okay, now before I do that, I want this, and I should have done it before I put the pocket on there, but we can still do it. I want this to look like an envelope. So I'm going to put this stamp on here. Like that. And then I'm going to stamp it with some archival ink and a postmark. And this is Inka-Dinka-Doo stamp. And I don't know if I got it from might have been from Joann's quite a while ago, so I don't know if it's still available or not, but I love it. I always forget I have it because I don't use a lot of the wood block stamps in so I forget about them. All right, what else do I want to put on here? I feel like I want to put something that looks kind of like a address or some kind of text. This is my big text stamp. I could just... No, that's not gonna work. Not gonna work. Where's my Tim Holtz script. Am I hitting you? I hope not. If I am, I apologize. Do I want this one or the other one? Let's do this one. I just want to do it real lightly. Just so there's something that looks like somebody's written something there, you know? You know what I'm saying? Alright, so I'm going to put this here. Okay, that works. That works. Now we'll go on with our tag. Alright, so for the tag, let's put a hole in the top. I should have reached and got all these things down before I started, but I didn't. Okay, and then I'm going to put this piece of paper on here that's from the same book, the typing book. Just tear it down just a tad. Alright, so let's put some. The pages of this typing book are really fragile, and so they can't be used as pages unless you, you know, back them with something. And so that's why I have doubled that one up on the other side, and why I'm using this one on a tag, because they really are fragile. I do have one page in the book that is from, in the journal that's from the book, but I folded the page in half, and then I put a why can't you speak today, Tammy? I put a piece of paper, you know, like a reinforcement on the where I folded the paper in half, so that it wouldn't crack. That's what I'm not very successfully trying to say. Alright, so actually this needs to be on this side. So I'm going to put this little telephone label on here. And it was on the original pocket right there, but I had to cut the pocket down a little bit, so I saved the tag off of it. Okay, now I'm going to ink this part up. And this is just a piece of Tim Holtz ephemera. It has a typewriter on it. Okay. And then I have no clue what to use as a focal point. I had originally got these flowers out. But now I've decided I don't like it. So, ink around this and think about it a minute. Maybe we'll use a black and white photo or a you see what I have in photos here. Wrong one. We want to find somebody that looks like they're going to work, right? And it's got to be a pretty small one. These may all be too big. Oh, this lady looks like she's going to work. I love that though, and I'd have to cut it. Maybe we'll save her. This is just the vintage photo lot that I got on eBay. It was really, really cheap, and it has some really cute pictures in it. From the time. A lot of them are from the 50s. There are some that are older, but the majority of them are from the 50s. And now we're back to the Tim Holtz. Tim Holtz pictures. I kind of like her in her car. Let's see what we can do with that. I think this is 49 Dragonflies. From her vintage photos. Alright, so if I rip across here and make it shorter. Yeah, like that. I can't rip that edge off without tearing it. So, tearing the picture. So I'm going to cut it. Because it's going to go right here on the corner anyway. There, that's cute. That's just a little collage tag. And I don't think I have any string close by. Oh, and we'll have to make a tag to go in the back pocket as well. But I'll put a piece of string in there. And then that will go in there. So that's pretty cute. And then we need to make a tag or a journaling card for this part. So will this go down in there? Yeah, let's use this. And I think we're going to leave it pretty much how it is. We're just going to back it to make it stiffer. Because it is a vintage piece. It's not a digital or a photocopy or anything. It is a original piece of ephemera. So I don't want to do a lot to it, but we can make it a little sturdier if I can find something to do that with. Maybe we'll use this Tim Holtz packaging. And just glue it on there. Yeah, that'll work because the back of it is plain enough that it'll be just fine. And if you didn't want to use the original backing of the packing, you could always put coffee dyed paper or something on the back of it. But I think that's fine. Okay. Now let's hope that fits down in the pocket or envelope. And I'm thinking we probably need to put a tab on it as well. Oh my goodness, guys. It's going to be just a tad too wide. So let's cut a little piece off each side. See, this is really fragile paper too. You have to be really careful. And apparently I didn't glue it down right there in that one spot. But that's okay, it's gone now. Okay, now it should fit. Yeah, we're gonna need a tab. All right, so why does that act like it's wanting to get caught right there? Because it's a little too wide. Boy, guys, I'm telling you, I'm struggling. Or maybe it's just that it's not glued down. I think that's it. So let me glue this edge. That always happens when you use a glue stick, doesn't it? Okay, tab. Oh my goodness. Okay. See if I've got anything already cut. My little thing here is about empty. That one will work. I think that one was actually in an order that I got from a Meet the Crafty Cat, because I do not have a whale-tail punch, and I think it came with something I ordered from her, because she always includes some free in her orders. So thank you, Amy. I'm putting it to use right now. Looks like this was cut out of her Bingo Bits digital. Okay, so I'm going to cover up some of the heading on my invoice. But it definitely needs a tab, so we're just going to sacrifice it a little bit. Well, all right. Okay, so now Yeah, that's much better. It was just because it was not glued down all the way. So now, there we go. We have our page here. We have another page we can write on here. We have a pocket here, and we have a pocket up here. We kept it looking like an envelope behind with some stamping and a stamp. And we repurposed the pocket from the other journal. So we shall continue on, and I'm already much happier with the outcome. So, yeah, I think I can move forward now and complete this journal and the other one as well. So that's it for today, guys. I know it was pretty boring and nothing you haven't seen before. But again, my purpose for today was to show you, you know, that if there's something you're doing and you don't like it, change it. I mean, you know, if you're not happy with it, then you're not going to be happy making the journal. And the whole purpose of us doing this is because we love it, right? So, yeah. So overall, you know, I ended up with 2 journals to work on, which there's nothing wrong with that. And I have 2 journals that I feel like I'm going to be much happier with. So, that's it. That's a wrap for today's video, and I will see you guys back on Tuesday for color combo. And just a reminder, this week's colors are tan and white, if you're doing that along with me as well. And I'm working on what we're going to do after color combo is finished. So, I'm getting kind of excited about that, and I hope that you guys will like it as well and want to join in. So, that's it, guys, for today, and I will see you back Tuesday. Bye.